you first heard about what had happened in Orlando?
It was the morning of Pride, which I wasn't necessarily planning to go to.
I was at my friend's apartment. We had all just gotten back from being out and just like hanging out, and I saw on Facebook people were posting.
I think it was Sunday night. People in my school started talking about it.
It kind of like flushed me with an emotion which made me actually end up going to the parade and being visible.
And we were all like scrolling and watching the news, and it was awful. Like, I felt terrible, and I was like, we can't sit here. We have to go out.
A good friend that was actually in there, so I texted him right away and he was able to respond, and started texting close friends, just making sure.
It's a risk we take to go out and have fun, but when you go there, you do expect, or you hope and pray for good vibes and just good, clean fun.
Did you ever feel that the bars and the clubs and the gay scene is somewhat of a safe haven, or like a place where people can congregate?
Well, it's a place where people like to go out to celebrate with their friends. Right. You know, it is a safe haven.
Just like the gay community, my community is a safe haven for me. If that were to be violated, I don't know what I would do. It would definitely affect the way that we view safety.
Do you feel like at times like this help unify communities and help bring people together? I mean, not just LGBTQ.
To be honest, temporarily. Every time something like this happens, it's always temporary. Somebody dies and we come back together and we cope and we stick together, and then we like lose sight again, and then something else happens and then we all come running for each other again. But we really just have to work on consistency.
I think it's just really awakened the gay community. Things like this can really bring people together, and it is super tragic what's happened, but I just see a lot of just posts on Facebook from the gay community, and just a lot of gay friends kind of banding together saying, you know, what we are fighting for, we're still fighting for it.
Every monument, major monuments, television, New Delhi, the American Embassy, Sydney, Australia, the Opera House, you know, the Eiffel Tower in Paris, obviously New York, even the Omni Hotel in downtown Dallas. I was shocked within 24 hours they all had rainbow images.
I feel like everybody has just rallied together so much. Like, I feel comfortable and safe around everybody, and which I never really thought about before, but now that I feel like it's on the forefront of our brain, we kind of have to.
Where you felt unsafe because of who you are?
Maybe not like a day-to-day thing.
The freedom that we're allowed to be given and the freedom that we feel we're given is very different things. It's very obvious that you can only be affectionate with your partner in certain neighborhoods.
If I was dating somebody and walking down the street, like, I wouldn't hold their hand and stuff like that, because I just feel uncomfortable. So I don't think I've actually felt threatened or like coming for me, but I've definitely not been able to be fully who I am.
You know, you have parts of America that people don't have a problem with expressing their hate towards you because that's just the way that they think it's normal, or the way that they've been raised.
I mean, like, there's definitely criticism towards our community. The government doesn't separate religion, and it instills fear in people.
How do you feel about the systemic homophobia and racism and xenophobia that exists within our country?
You know, honestly, I feel like people always say you shouldn't judge, and honestly, it's something we all do quite naturally. And you can't deny it, you can't lie about it, come on, it's human nature. However, when it gets down to it, there should be no reason why you should be judging so harshly, or worrying about what somebody else is doing or where they're living their life.
There's extremism in every single little part of the world. It comes from the place of hate, and why we need to kind of advocate love, and why we need to be a little bit more, you know, proactive about having positive influences on everybody.
I know one thing that gay people really just strive for in life is love and acceptance, and people around them who support them. And so I think it is really sad and really tragic, especially coming from a Christian background. I'm not called to judge, and I'm not called to say that people are sinners. I am called to love. And I think it's really sad when people around the world can't see that this world really just needs love.
The part of it that confuses me a lot is that they always say that he is a Muslim, or, you know, that he has this particular reason for feeling hate towards somebody. It's completely ludicrous. He was an American, he was born in New York, lived his life in this kind of civilization.
The way that he was brought up was here, right here in America. And so I think we need to focus on the hate here.
The truth of it obviously spirals down to just the fact that he was an angry and hateful person.
I think it's been so great seeing like the whole world come together, but it's still sad to see people, their comments and negative things right in our own country about it.
It does get pushed under the rug a lot more often than other types of hate crimes. I think there's a lot of government though rising up that is for it, and that is for saying, you know, no, gays are humans too.
Right.
They should be protected, but not as much. And it is kind of sad to see that these things sort of happen. And obviously this can't happen, what happened in Orlando can't be unseen by anybody.
But there is hope.
Yes, there's definitely hope.
The only good thing happened is we all woke up to how many guns can be sold in minutes.
These rifles need to be gone. Like we need to ban assault rifles for sure. If you are on the no-fly list, but you can still go buy a rifle, that makes zero sense to me.
The awareness that anybody can buy a gun in 15 minutes.
A small group has prevented any sensible gun legislation. Even Reagan came
Small
out
but
for it.
powerful.
Small,
Very powerful.
but we're powerful too.
The Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms, but that was back when it was a one-shot rifle. So as time evolves and as guns evolve, the laws have to evolve.
The we is more than the gay community.
Absolutely.
It is parents, it's the black community, it is, you know, the Hispanic community that has suffered most from gun violence.
Exactly.
Orlando, there have been other instances and bad situations happening all because of guns. And it's kind of ridiculous that it's still not moving from the conversation of what we need to do is pray for the solution.
Like I said, I was living in Australia for the past year, and they had a mass shooting, and they immediately changed their gun laws and made it. They didn't ban them, but they set regulations, and I think we should follow suit.
Do you feel the government does its role to protect you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a single mom.
Wow.
So there's a lot of government things that are out there to protect me and protect women like me. Comparing to gays and your guys' rights and what you guys are standing for, I definitely think I'm more protected than you are, which is sad to say, but if we're being real.
My friends worked in the hospitals like that night, and people were like saying like, oh, it's just like a gay thing. It was a gay hate crime. Like we don't have to worry about it. But the girl was like, wait, I go to that club all the time. I'm straight. Like, it affects everybody.
It starts with banning the gun that has no purpose to be sold, which kills an entire group of people.
You know, this is a really bad thing. It's like now every 3 months in America, there's another mass shooting. You know, it's sort of like a drive-by shooting. If we got against no smoking and no drinking and driving, that would save thousands and thousands of lives. We can certainly change this. Absolutely. This is America.
If you could give a piece of advice for the gay community to make it through this and to strive through this, what would you tell them?
Love deeper. Don't give up. Stick together. Don't be afraid, but be wise. There is so much unity in the gay community.
Right.
You guys are really for each other and you're really supportive. And that's something not even a lot of Christian communities have.
The unity that I've seen and the communities coming together, and straight people and gay people, like all of my friends back home, like supporting us and asking me if I was okay. It's just amazing.
But I figure that all of us, you know, pushing, it's like little cracks in the dam. It has to change. We can't go through this anymore again and again.
We are Orlando.
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 We are Orlando.